Well, hey guys, happy Saturday night. Uh, Always coming back with a question or prompt here to you about how's your balance. So, as you may notice, I'm back home. Thankfully, I just wanted to take a few minutes here after spending some time with the family this evening um, and come live as I do every day with you guys to share and prompt and encourage you. And ask a question though, how is your balance? So, you may say, what is that? My physical balance?" Well, no, more than that. In my warrior language in the training that I do, we talk about our bodies, our being, that's our spiritual life, our business, and our balance. Balance meaning our relationships. For most people, it's usually your spouse and your children, but it definitely can expand beyond that. For those of you, well, it could be friends, could be colleagues. And so when I ask about how is your balance, I'm not saying balance in, or I'm not talking about balance in money either, which some people may think. What is my balance? Meaning, am I rich? Am I poor? What does your balance look like? I'm not worried about, candidly, the number of friends you have. That's not the quantity is not as important as the quality of relationships you have, and had a lot of powerful conversations over the last week. I had a great blessing today to have breakfast with my cousin. I only have four cousins, so very thankful that I got to see my cousin Jenny and her husband Keith. Love you guys. Thank you so much for a great morning today. And then getting to see my aunt, who's almost 83 this year, in just celebrating that two relationships as part of my extended family, and then coming home and seeing my beautiful wife and children and just having dinner and hanging out and being with them tonight. And then on top of that, we have colleagues. Hey, Hector, love you, brother. Um, we have people like Hector here and Nicole who I've gotten to meet through Warrior. Amazing husband and wife. If you guys haven't met them, please connect with Hector and Nicole. They're doing amazing things. And we just were at Warrior recently. And love you, brother. um, it's the balance, meaning how are we showing up in our lives, and are we being intentional with them, or are we being um accidental, or we're not paying attention about, really, honestly. I'm telling you, I almost married 19 years this year. I was accidental for a while there, and I can still get off target, but I'm much better today through using the tools and the resources I've learned over the years to get in better balance and have a better relationship with my wife, my children, those I get to work with, my clients. And it doesn't just happen by accident. It's something intentional. It's like, how do you want to show up? What do you want to do? So when I knew I was going to be at this workshop and symposium this last week. I knew I have family members in Henderson and Las Vegas area, and so I was intentional in planning to, reach out and at least make myself available, and we were able to work things out. And so I was, planning that and looking at that. And so I had the opportunity to connect and share. And love on my family, which I was so appreciative. And some of these I haven't seen for years, candidly. And I saw my one of my good friends, Kim, that I've known since junior high, and got to see her, and just some other great colleagues over the years. Some people I've worked with for all my basically my whole career. I mean, I've been in environmental consulting for a long time, actually, like 25 years. Ooh, it's hard to hear that sometimes, but like, that I'm still in contact and connection with those. For those of you who might not have seen, on Tuesday night, or those of you who don't know, I was actively a DJ there for a good while in my past, not so much now, but I had an amazing experience to see some just tremendous DJs, MCs, people that I've worked with, or participated in previous organizations with. They happened to be there. We had a overlapping conference. The Mobile Entertainment Expo was there at the South Point the same time the Desert Tortoise Council was. So it was this collision in a good way of relationships. Well, how do you maintain those relationships? Well, number one, I am a connector. So this is something I know about myself. how to maintain those relationships and connections. And that's why I share them with you, because if you guys struggle with that sometimes, that's one of my strengths, and that's what I help some business owners on with candidly in teams is like, let's work together and make sure that these relationships are in the best and healthiest way they can be. And so I'm super passionate about that. And that's what I bring into my coaching. That's what I bring into Steward Your Business. And if you guys haven't heard Intelligent Human Leadership yet, please listen to it and let me know what you think. I just had an episode come out this last week, episode number 10, talking about associations. But balance is so important to me. This is one of the key domains, because if you're in a good place, if you're healthy, and I talked about this week about how we give back, we give out of abundance, we can love others because of where we're at. It's an amazing experience. I never hear people say, "I wish I would have, you know, worked more or had more money." It comes down to relationships. It really does. And how are you being intentional in your relationships? How are you showing up for your spouse, your children, your friends, your colleagues? Are you being intentional about it and reaching out and building up and building those relationships, or are they just decaying away? Have you neglected that? And if anybody, you can use, different analogies, your car, your house. If you're not maintaining, it doesn't stay it doesn't stay it it breaks apart, it collapses, right? It will fall apart over time if you're not intentional. For example, there was a time where I was not as intentional about dating my wife, pursuing my wife, making sure that she was the priority. Work got in there. And this is why I'm passionate about making sure that we pursue that. I got to go and spend the last weekend with my wife. We got to go to the Mission Inn, had an amazing time, which I was so thankful for. And I was grateful that we were able to set that time aside and just relax and have a good time. And it's like, I want to do that again. I want to make that a party. I want to find out other ways that we can do that. And if you don't if you don't do that, I'm telling you, as someone in the past where I have been neglected that, you'll lose that connection. And it's so easy to do, unfortunately, where you can just get caught up on things. And so, for me coming home tonight, and one thing was fun when I was driving home. My wife messaged me because I like to let her know where I'm at and where's going on, and she saw I was driving back home, and hey, could you grab us some food? And we would love that. And he's like, I'm so glad that she did, and she reached out to me and let me know, hey, this is something meaningful for me. Can you do this for me? And I'm like, yes, I'm so honored and grateful for that. And I love hearing from her and that reaching out and connection. And it's not just a two-way street. And so I just want to encourage you guys to show up and be intentional in your relationships. I know maybe I'm being preachy here. I don't mean to be preachy, but I just know I've been off the rails there in the past, and it's something I continually have to be on guard on. And this is where I do my core four. You guys have heard me talk about doing the core four, and I track it. I make sure that I'm putting in deposits. I'm praying over my family. I want to share messages of love and encouragement. Am I perfect? No, but I continue to pick up every day. I want to make progress, and be able to show up where I can and be present and engaged. And so, wanted to encourage you guys tonight in this as I got back home, and just wanted to let you know I'm back home. I'm excited to be back home. Wanted to just come on for a few minutes. My son just went to bed, and we got to hang out with my daughter and my wife here. Watched a funky little movie tonight. I can't remember what that one was, but it was fun just to hang out, and even my cat curled up on my lap and hung out a little bit, so it was like, "Oh, okay, we missed each other a little bit." But if you are out of balance, I wanna encourage you, to reach out to me, because the tools I found are amazing. They've really been really, really helpful for me. It's been revolutionary in a lot of men that I've worked with in, number 1, empowering them in their marriage and encouraging them to lean in, and to show up in a powerful way. And so I just want to encourage you to stay connected, keep the balance. Balance meaning, be on target with your relationships, your spouse, your children, your coworkers, your friends. Be intentional about it. I'm telling you, it'll pay dividends for a lifetime to come. Like I said, I'm seeing friends and people that I haven't seen for years, but to come up and see them and to give them a hug and have smiles and appreciation and love is just an amazing thing that I'm so so grateful for. And I want you to be able to have that experience. If you're missing that or feeling off in that, you have an advocate here in me, and I want to encourage you in that. And yeah, I just want to wish you guys well. Have an amazing night. I'm going to get some rest. Love you, brother. I love you so much. Thanks, Hector. I'm here for you guys. Please don't hesitate to reach out. It's all about, passing, sharing the love, sharing the light so that you can go from the pit, the pain, wherever you might be stuck in your relationships. Let's get you to the peak. Let's get you on a path of love and support and making sure you have the tools to be in balance for all of those in your life. Starting with your spouse, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, to lead yourself, and then your family and going on from there. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a great night. I'm going to go spend the rest of the night with my beautiful wife and get some rest. Take care, guys. Bye.